In today's lesson, we're going to discuss movable power chords and apply them to the song Smoke in the Water by Deep Purple. All right, so if you remember to the last lesson, we talked about the B5, or the B power chord. And I just want to say that the first finger on this particular chord is pushing down the root, all right, which in this case would be a B. And the third finger is pushing down the fifth scale degree. So remember, do, re, mi, fa, so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have the first scale degree, which is a B, and the fifth scale degree, like that, which in this case would be an F sharp. Now we're going to take this same chord, but we're just going to move it up one string. So everything's going to be moved up one string. So now we're on a 6-string root, and the question is, what's the first finger pushing down? Because that's going to give you the name of the power chord. All right, so what we're going to do today is talk about all the root notes on the 6th string. So we're going to go through and discuss how to figure that out. The first thing I want to talk about is the musical alphabet. So the musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the first 7 letters of the regular alphabet. So in this case, we're going to be starting on an E. Now, if you look at the chart below, you'll see how the notes are laid out on the 6th string. You'll notice that the E and F are 1 fret apart, and also the B and C are 1 fret apart. Every other natural note, so a note that doesn't have a sharp or flat sign, every other natural note are 2 frets apart, okay? So from the open to the first fret, that's an E to an F. All right, now from an F to a G, we go up 2 more frets. So the 3rd fret on the 6th string is a G. Okay, so we have open E, first fret is an F, 3rd fret is a G, and if we go up 2 more frets from the G, a whole step from the G will bring us to the A. So that's the 5th fret. And then from there we can go to the B, which is the 7th fret. And then from the B we go a half step, or 1 fret, to the C. So the C is on the 8th fret of the 6th string. And then next we go from a C to a D, so that's a whole step. All right. And finally we go from a D to an E, which is another whole step, or 2 frets. So the E is on the 12th fret. So the double dots signify the 12th fret. All right, so let me do that one more time. So we start on the E, go to the F, G, A, B, C, D, and E. And notice we're just going forward in the alphabet, so E, F, G, and then A, B, C, D, E, and that's a full octave. So from the open to the 12th fret is called an octave. Okay, now we're going to talk about the notes in between the natural notes. So a sharp sign means that you go up in pitch by a half step, and a flat sign means that you go down in pitch by a half step. So for example, if we start on an F and we go to an F sharp, we're going to be going up 1 fret. So here is an F sharp. So it's the 2nd fret of the 6th string. Now if we go to a G and we go down a half step, or we call it a G flat, then we go to the 2nd fret as well. So notice that an F sharp and a G flat are the same note. They sound exactly the same. So we can do the same thing with all of the other natural notes that have a whole step between them, or 2 frets between them. So another example would be a G to an A. It's a whole step. So a G sharp would be a half step higher than the G, and an A flat would be a half step lower than the A. Again, same note. So G sharp and A flat are the same note. And we can do it again from the A to the B. So A sharp or B flat. Okay. So A sharp and B flat is on the 6th fret. All right, now B to C is a half step, so we don't have to worry about that. Next would be a C to a D. That's a whole step. So C sharp or D flat. So on the 9th fret of the 6th string, we have C sharp and D flat. And finally, we go from a D to an E. That's a whole step. So a D sharp or an E flat. So the 11th fret on the 6th string is a D sharp, and it could also be called an E flat. Okay, so what you want to do first is memorize all of the natural notes on the sixth string. So the E, the F, the G, A, B, C, D, and E. Once you do that, then you can start filling in the blanks with the sharps and flats. So you can start filling in the F sharp and G flat, the G sharp and A flat, the A sharp and B flat, the C sharp and D flat, and the D sharp and E flat. Now, what we're going to do is use power chords to play songs just on the sixth string root. So the example that we're going to use today is Smoke on the Water. So it'll sound like this. Okay, so you'll notice that wherever my first finger goes, my third finger is always down one string up 2 frets. So the easiest way to memorize this to start is to know where your first finger goes. So the first finger will start on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and that's a G. From there, we're going to go to the 6th fret on the 6th string, and that's a B flat. So it'll be a G, B flat. And then from there we go to a C, which is on the 8th fret. So we have the 3rd fret, 6th fret, 8th fret. And then after that we go back down to the 3rd fret, 6th fret, and then we go 9th fret, 8th fret. So this will be a C sharp, also known as a D flat, and then to the C. And then after that we go back to the 3rd fret, to the 6th fret, 8th fret, 6th fret, 3rd fret. Okay, so just remember 3, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9, 8, 3, 6, 8, 6, 3. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is memorize where your first finger goes. So get used to that. Once you're ready, we'll dive into using the power chords. Okay, so the first power chord is the G power chord. So first finger on the 3rd fret, like we talked about, and then the 3rd finger down 1 string, up 2 frets. So that'll be on the 5th fret of the 5th string. There's your G power chord. The next chord, remember, we're going from the 3rd fret to the 6th fret, so the next one is a B flat power chord. And after that, we're going up to the 8th fret, so there's your C power chord. So let me play that again. So it'll be like so. And then we're going to go back to the G, B flat, C sharp, C. Okay, so remember that's 3rd, 6, 9, 8. So like that. And then we go back to the G again. 3, 6, 8, 6, 3. Okay, so let me play it really slowly. Try playing along with me. And if you need to, you could just use your first finger like so, just to get started. And then make it your goal to eventually use the power chords. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's all there is to it. So like I said, you could just practice it with the first finger on the root notes, and then eventually use power chords when playing Smoke on the Water. And you can hop on over to the Practice Buddy, where I'll have this played at 50 beats per minute with the metronome, and also at 100 beats per minute. So like I said, you can practice with the metronome and gradually build up speed in increments of 5 beats per minute. All right, well, have fun, and I'll see you next time.